So anybody here heard of these ladies, Deb Brown and Becky McRae? So please join me in welcoming them back to our makeshift stage here in front of the Open X agenda wall one last time today.
Are your brains full yet? No? Are your hearts full yet? Are you worn out? There, that one got a reaction. They are worn out. We got to that point.
Yeah.
So they're a little worn out. The good news is we only have about an hour and a half of intensive work to do together, the stuff you need to learn.
No. They're tired.
Oh, they're tired.
They're
Okay, so
tired.
do your thing.
Okay, well, you know how it is when you go to a conference, right? You learn all kinds of really exciting information. You want to take it home and put it in place right away. Then you wake up the next morning, like tomorrow, and realize you still have the same crabby board and boss. You realize you have to turn in your expense report. You realize that event that's 2 weeks away isn't finished and planned and ready to go. And before you know it, your day is over. And the next day, and the next week, and before you know it, several months have passed, and you haven't put anything into place that you learned. Right now, we're going to change things up a little bit for you. We're going to give you some positive steps to take what you've learned at the conference to take it home and put it into place. And I don't think Cheyenne knows she's going to help us.
Well, I think
She should be
she
used to
has
it.
a mic. She's like probably no. Did you tell them the implementation rule, the 2 days thing? Does that go right?
Oh, no, I should talk about that too, because that's really important as well. What you learned, you have 60 days to put into place, but it's really easy. For every day you spend at a conference, take a full day to work on implementation. Now, you don't have to take it a full day at a time. You could take it 2 hours here or 4 hours there or a Saturday morning. But think about it. You've got 2 days to spend over the next 60 days to put what you learned into place, to get things started, to take small steps.
So actually schedule that. Make a note. This is on your to-do list. One of the first things you will do tomorrow morning is look at your schedule for the upcoming 2 months and say, where can I block out some time to work on my Rural X ideas? And so that's your to-do item, is to schedule that implementation time with yourself.
Now, if you'd be kind enough to give Cheyenne McGriff a welcome, she's going to come up and I'm going to make her work today.
All right.
From Wall, South Dakota. Cheyenne was kind enough to share some stories with us, and this is what happens when you share. We make you share more.
True.
You ready?
Yeah, always.
Always. So here's what I want to know. What is your idea for a new project?
I have a lot of ideas for new projects
Choose
from
one.
just today. I want to do a better block pop-up on our boulevard in Wall.
Okay, excellent. How are you going to gather your crowd to do that?
Last year, we did an event called Wall in the Fall, and we had some really good community volunteers. So I'm going to hold an open gathering for idea sharing like we did with it last year and see where it can go from there.
Talk a little bit more about this open gathering thing. How do you do that?
Yeah, so we did.
So people can learn how to do it in their towns.
Basically, we just said, hey, we have this idea. We're going to meet to talk about it. You're not required to be on a committee if you come and share your ideas. We just need to know what you want.
Awesome. How are you going to build connections?
We have a really awesome chamber director, and she has good outreach in the community. We have a good mayor. He has good outreach. And we have some of our business owners that have been involved. We will include them in the process and have them kind of ask around for their customers, see what they've heard. And we've recently gotten in touch with some young moms, young professionals, see if they are willing to help us out too.
Don't forget your outside resources.
Yeah.
Those people matter too.
Yeah.
Definitely. And what small step are you going to take?
I'm just going to set a date for that community planning session.
Gathering.
Gathering, not
You're
a
gonna
meeting.
gather your crowd,
A
not
gathering.
a meeting. That's right. You see how easy that was? Thank you very much. We appreciate having you.
Here.
She took her idea. She looked at how she could gather her crowd and build connections and set a date. It's going to go back and set a date for that event. The event doesn't have to be all planned out. You don't have to have committees. You just set the date.
Excellent.
Excellent. Thank you. Again, thank you.
Now, what's next on our list?
Oh, where's our fearless Beth? Right here. You got some postcards to hand out?
Postcards, yeah. So these are from Dakota Resources, and their idea is that you might want a little reminder. You know, we said you had 60 days to work on implementation. Well, you're going to get a reminder. The good news is it's not going to be like a reminder from someone else who's like picking on you. It's going to be a reminder from you. You are going to be picking on you. Dakota Resources is just going to mail it back to you. So you don't have to commit yourself to anything you're not willing to commit yourself to here. And the only person who's going to really actually benefit from it is you. So, wow, she's already she's onto it there. All right, thank you very much. So the questions are really pretty simple. What are you inspired to do? This is that claim you're going to stake on your community, right? And stake your claim on your community. What is it that you're going to work on? And then who can help? Boy, is that a gather your crowd kind of question right there? Who can help you with that? So this will be your reminder. And Beth, these are coming back to them in the middle of September?
In about 60 days.
In about 60 days, these babies are going to show up in your mailbox. No fair addressing them to someone else. No. Address it to yourself. Thank you, Scott. All right, so there's the postcards. What's next? Is that it? No, we got to work them. We got to make them do it. All right, so here's
So write
the
your
thing.
postcards.
We want you to write your postcards, which has your thing that you want to work on, and who's going to help you. So these are the first part. That's part of gathering your crowd, staking your claim, and determining who's going to be in your crowd. Yes, Kobe. Oh, you want a pen? Well, Beth is here to serve. All right. So that's the first part of Idea Friendly. The second part then is about building connections, and that includes who can help, but also your outside resources. Who are resources outside of your community that you can reach out to? Who are the resource centers, like the Women's Business Resource Center? Who are the people that you can reach out to that are going to bring skills and expertise to your community and help you to accomplish more things?
And at OpenX, I learned that South Dakota has a continuing online education resource. Would you give us the name of that site, please?
If you go to edgo.com/BHSU, there's online, short, non-credit online classes.
So it's ed2go.com/BHSU. So you don't have to do it all yourself. For those of you that want to teach a few things but don't have people to teach it, reach out to your resources. See what's possible. That's another example for me that I'm taking home from OpenX.
Excellent. All right. Building connections. So what's the last part of Idea Friendly? We did the first two parts. What's the last one?
You ready?
Oh, we're going to do it. Take small steps.
steps.
Who remembers that from last year?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, we do that. Do you do that at home now, like in a meeting? Go, we just need to take some small steps. They won't think you're crazy any more than they already do, okay? So you can feel free to do that. So take small steps. You want to focus on small but meaningful ways other people can participate with you. How can you break this down? Quit trying to build the Taj Mahal first. Let's just start with having a beer, you know? I mean, small steps. So what are the very smallest steps you can take? And how can you invite others to take a tiny, meaningful role in what you're trying to accomplish? Small but meaningful participation. Okay. Now,
That's the Idea Friendly.
hey, did you know that was the Idea Friendly method? Did you know that? All right. I think they're getting it. It's
The
sinking in.
if,
The
hashtag if, the
Yeah.
name of your town.
So if you're going to tweet, if you're going to Instagram some if our town kind of stuff, tag us. We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it.
I think now we're going to, Hugh Weber has requested some inspirational words from us
Oh, Lord.
to get him going home and fired up.
Do you need some inspiration, Hugh? Just a touch. Boy, we did that this morning. I just want to remind you that the changes that made everything different, this technology that has changed, the communications tools in our own hands, this changeover from an old, formal, controlled way of ordering people around and being expected to toe the line and behave and adult has passed. The event that changed all that is over. And so while it's taking us a while to make that transition, just know that it's best regarded as something that has already happened. And it's just up to us to adopt the new behaviors that these tools make it possible for us to do. So while we're in this transition of adopting those new behaviors, expect there to be moments when you go, I don't think it makes sense, I'm not really comfortable, I'm a little worried, nobody's going to follow up, what if nothing happens, what if it doesn't work, what if people find out I don't know what I'm talking about, I just made that up, and it's all okay. Because this change is going on, we've moved to a new way of doing things. Take inspiration from the fact that it has been accomplished and that all it is up to us is to change our behaviors. We just have to start acting like we have this power because the power really is in our own hands. We have this power. We are shaping a brighter future for our communities. We're changing everything. And think about it. 100 years from now, somebody's going to write the next history book about your town. In 100 years, they're going to write that next history book about your town. And what you do today is writing the next chapter of that. You are making the history that is going to be written about your community because you are making sure it's going to thrive for the next 100 years. That's how important it is that you help make this transition, that you start acting things out, and that you start letting the chaos take over. It's a beautiful thing to be at a moment when you know that you're shaping history. And that's what all of us are doing. And so I invite you to take some of that excitement and magic that you feel and share it with other people in your communities. Thank you very much for letting Deb and I be part of this with you again.
Thank
We've
you.
really enjoyed it. Thank you. I thought you...
We're done early.
Oh,
Aw.
okay.
Thank you so much,
Next
ladies.
up, you
It's
have
always
your-
awesome to have you with us.